Hey everyone, this is Adam Heverin. For those of you that know me, I live in Indianapolis, Indiana. I am an instructor in the exercise science department for a local college in Indiana. I've done personal training for quite a number of years before I started teaching at the college level, which I really enjoy. When it comes to exercise science, fitness, nutrition, anything in that realm, I could talk to a wall about it. It's just I am lucky that I get to talk to roomfuls of college students and get paid for it. It's very fun job, but anyway, the purpose of this video blog that I'm starting, which is what this is, if it doesn't look like it, is just to kind of allow me maybe once or twice a month to post some stuff out there on the interwebs about what I'm doing or about thoughts I have on fitness trends or science trends and exercise. Maybe a little bit of nutrition as well. I have several goals that I'm working on myself right now, so I thought it would also be a good way to keep myself accountable to those goals. And then obviously, if I put some information out there that you're interested in or you have questions on, I think it's always fun to talk about this stuff. So please don't hesitate to leave a comment or ask any questions you might have. Um, so, that one of the biggest purposes of what I'm trying to do here is to make it super simple and laid back because there's a lot of fitness influencers out there that live lifestyles that are really cool and awesome. And they also provide some really interesting information and factual information. A lot of them, I'll show you some of the people I follow in just a minute. But I'm just like a regular dude who's trying to get through life and I'm ambitious. I have goals. I'm working on a PhD right now that takes up a lot of my time, which means I won't be posting a ton on here, but I will share, my progress on that as well. I live in a small house in Indianapolis with my wife and our dog, and we have a big family, and we spend a lot of time with them. But we're pretty normal. So I want this blog to be normal, right? It may get better if I invest in some better equipment, or I don't do it in the back room of my house where you can probably hear that it's raining right now and the lighting's not the best. But um, I also kind of want, if you take anything away from some of this stuff, you can apply it to maybe your life, or you can ask questions on how you can approach certain things in your life about your fitness or your nutrition or just your daily lifestyle habits. So I want to be able to put information out there that actually helps. And I always want to, I'm just setting myself up as a resource, right? I have spent quite a bit of money. I'm still spending a ton of money on myself, investing in myself to continue to learn as much as I can about this stuff. And so I want to share it with as many people as I can. So let me go ahead and flip over and share a few things with you guys. I'm going to share my desktop. Once again, this is super rudimentary. So you can see I'm running Zoom to record this. So right now, my current goals, I have a few that I'm working on, and my workouts are kind of based around that. So if you're just looking at my little script that I have here, right now, one of my biggest goals is to gather energy data. What that means is I use an Apple Watch to track my daily calorie expenditure, and I want to see how accurate that is. There's a lot of studies out there that say that it's between 10 and 32% error on the Apple Watch. So I'm going to use a very specific tool to manage my nutrition for the next couple of weeks, and then I'm going to compare it to the Apple Watch. All right, I'll show you what I'm going to do in just a second on that. I built my workouts too. Right now, I'm not lifting super heavy. I am doing a little bit more volume so I can cut back on some weight that I gained over COVID, just like a lot of other people. I did a lot of weightlifting at home, but didn't pay as much attention to my nutrition. Even though I have all this knowledge in my brain of what to do and what not to do, that doesn't mean I'm perfect. So I'm trying to cut back a little bit on my body weight and sustain as much muscle as possible, gain a little bit more strength. And muscular and cardiovascular work capacity just means being able to do as much as possible. So not maybe lift super heavy weight, but be able to do a lot of repetitions. I'm using a fan bike and a couple other methods for cardiovascular fitness so that I can gain some of that back. And I'm going on a big family trip to Scotland in 2023 to play golf with some of my family members, several rounds of golf in Scotland. I'm very excited about that. I've played golf off and on since about 2015, but that's right when I started golf. So I'm still learning quite a bit about the game and how to get a better swing. So I'm going to be working my workouts around that to try and develop a better golf swing. And I'll kind of show you how I'm going to track that too. In a minute, I'll show you who I follow, who's influenced me. So let's take a look real quick at kind of some of the workouts I'm doing. I'll have separate posts on like how I develop workouts and my nutrition plan and stuff like that. These are just snapshots. So this is just a spreadsheet that I use to develop my workout. The highlighted portions mean I've already gone through it the first week of this. I have a cardio and mobility workout. These may look kind of long and intricate. They're not. They only last maybe, I think the longest one is maybe an hour, maybe even like 50 minutes, and I get done. The longest portion of my workouts are focused on the mobility and warm-up portion. I have a lot of exercises I do that come from a physical therapist I've been working with for a couple of years. His name's Bill Hartman. I'll talk to you a little bit more about him in a second. And that has to do with I was an endurance athlete for a really long time through high school and college, cross country and track, long distance running. I don't have the best form for a runner. I got pretty good, but still just banged myself up for years. I ran several marathons and my joints got really compressed and stiff. And so when I started doing other types of exercise training and playing golf, I noticed I had a lot of limitations. So I'm working on those for 2 years. So I've really redeveloped how I look at my workouts and what I need in particular. Lifting heavy weight and doing things ultra fast and things like that are fun, but they don't work really well for me right now. So that's why my workouts are written the way they are right now. So as far as nutrition goes, this is a spreadsheet that I'm going to use to track exactly how many calories I'm eating every single day. So at the end of the day, I know exactly how many calories I'm eating. And so I can, this has a lot of calculations on it based on a lot of input information. I did not develop this spreadsheet. A good friend of mine, his name is Doug Higgins. We've been friends for a long time. He developed this spreadsheet. He has a background in accounting. I believe that's what his degree is in. And he's a whiz with spreadsheets. So he developed this based off of a book that we both read a couple years ago. And so I cannot take credit for this. I have made tweaks to it for myself that I use personally. I've added a lot of tabs down here, but the core of it all comes from Doug. And it allows me to dial in my maintenance calories. Maintenance calories just means like 2,540. I haven't updated this since a couple months ago, so I'm just going to start really using it a bit more heavily. So this is probably a little off right now, but it's saying that if I eat 2,540 calories every single day, my weight will not go up, my weight will not go down, it will stay the same. So and it has a food database where I can enter all the foods that I might eat, and then I pull them over and I put the amount of carbs, the amount of fats, and things like that, and it tells me how many calories I'm eating per day. I'm going to make a whole separate post on this resource, but I'm going to try and use this every single day for the next 2 to 3 weeks. And at the end, I'll have some averages because I'm going to be getting on a scale every single day. Then I can compare it to this. I'm going to be interested to see what the results are, and I'll share those with you. As far as golf goes, I have an app that I use on my phone. I just set it behind me when I'm doing my swings at the driving range. And then I do teach biomechanics for those.
To work on dropping that arm a little bit, I think.
Yeah. So I actually was making this video, sharing it with a couple of my friends. My golf swing is not great. There's a lot to work on here. I teach biomechanics, so I have a really good understanding of what the golf swing needs to look like, the proper components required for the golf swing. I'm actually able to get my hips a little more open than I used to be able to. So that's good, but this club needs to be way farther down. There are a lot of things I need to tweak. So I just take my phone and a little tripod that I have to the driving range, and I take video and I look at it, and then I make tweaks and I go back and work on that. Last but certainly not least, let me show you some of the resources that I use, that I have been using for a long time. As far as the nutrition stuff goes, that spreadsheet that Doug developed, that we have both used quite a bit on our nutrition, and I'm going to start using pretty hardcore here, is based on this book, Lean Gains Method by Martin Burkhan. What I will say at this point is if you are interested in tweaking your nutrition a little bit, I'm not sure I would suggest saying that you should start with the spreadsheet in this book, because it's a little bit more advanced approach. It uses macros like carbs, fats, and nutrition, carbs, fats, and proteins. It uses a lot of math. It requires a lot of input, and it requires you to actually be on the spreadsheet every day, or at least tracking what you're doing with a food scale. There are a lot of habits that you can build that are smaller that can build you up to this. And I probably should take a second to step back and say that anything you see me saying or doing on here, I'm not saying that you should do everything the same way I should. Actually, you probably shouldn't, because everybody's different and everybody's needs are different. So my physical therapist, Bill Hartman, he is located up at a place called iFast, Indianapolis Fort Fitness and Sports Training. It's in Fishers. His partner, Mike Robertson, I've also been following him for a really long time. Strength and conditioning, personal training. He's developed the way that I write my programs is heavily influenced, like just the structure of them is heavily influenced by Mike. Another physical therapist that I like to follow that shares a lot of great content is Katie St. Clair. She is certified strength and conditioning specialist and a physical therapist. So double threat there. She shares a lot of awesome information. A guy that I've known for a really long time, his name's Lance. I met him during my master's degree at IUPUI in Indianapolis. He's been doing fitness. He interned and worked at iFast for a really long time, and he does his own fitness stuff. He is extremely smart. He has a lot of great content out there. Lane Norton and Dr. Joey Munoz are people that I follow for kind of just fun nutrition stuff, important nutrition stuff. They tend to debunk a lot of myths and things that you might have heard about nutrition. I share a lot of them on my stories and things like that on Instagram. They fluff up their content a lot with their personalities because they are influencers, but they don't get too crazy. And I really do like a lot of the information they share. And I would not recommend any of these people unless I knew that the content that they shared and the things that they were doing them the right way. And I tend to be very skeptical, so I do a lot of my own investigation, and I read a lot of literature and research to make sure that the things that people are saying that I follow is correct. So hopefully that bit of information can help get you started and get you acquainted with me. And if you have any questions or anything, just post your comments below.